Hi creative geniuses, welcome to today's project. Here's your art kit if you are a beginner or in preschool. You'll need, along with your art plan, some model magic clay, 2 markers, red and yellow, and a battery operated votive candle. If you are at an intermediate or advanced level, this is what you'll need in your art kit along with your art plan. You'll need some terracotta clay, a toothpick or clay tools, some red and yellow acrylic paint, a paintbrush, 2 paper plates, a paper towel, and a battery votive candle. Other materials you can get from home are a water bucket, sketch paper, and a pencil. Let's get inspired for today's pumpkin lamp project. If you are a younger student, we would like for you to go and listen to the 5 Little Pumpkins song. Now we'll include a link on our art plan and also down below. We would like for you to pay attention to what the pumpkins are feeling on their faces. What would describe those feelings, and how do you know? What shapes do you see on the pumpkins' faces? Those are some questions that you can ask yourself as you sing along. The intermediate and advanced students have 2 options. One is to discuss the importance and functions of lights in the world and in your home. Think about all the lights that are around you at your house. You can either draw your ideas or make a list. Option 2 is a drawing challenge. Draw 3 to 6 pumpkins with different faces using only geometric shapes. Examples of geometric shapes are squares, rectangles, triangles, circles, and diamonds. Step 2. Let's connect today's project to some thinking about lamps and lights. Lighting, and particularly lamps, are functional, but also they are art because of their design and visual beauty. There's a lot of different examples of different kinds of lighting, such as Tiffany lamps or Christmas lights, and you maybe have brainstormed some of your own ideas. A brainstorm is when you swirl and twirl around in your brain just some different ideas that you might have. It just gets your brain thinking. Check out some of the items listed in our resources section to learn more about lighting. Step 3. Let's get going with our art masterpiece. Our beginner students can start using their Model Magic, which is a light and fluffy, easy to use clay, and we're going to start with our color. We're going to use 2 markers, 2 primary color markers. These 2 primary colors you can either draw with on the clay, or draw in lines on the clay, or draw letters or slashes and just play around. You're going to be mixing these colors onto the clay and twist and turn and start to exercise our hand muscles. This is going to get our hands warmed up too for when we make our pinch pots. So we're going to add color and mix and smush and just play around with the clay. See what color it creates? What color does this create? We are creating with 2 primary colors a secondary color. And if you said orange, you're right. You should be getting some type of orange. The more yellow you use, the more yellowish orange your color will be. The more red you use, the more reddish orange your color will become. Let's create a pinch pot. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll your clay into a ball. You can use your hands and palms, or you can use a tabletop. You will then stick your thumb into the ball, and you're going to use your hands like a lobster and pinch and turn and pinch and turn. And as you pinch and turn, the opening in your little bowl should get bigger and bigger. Now, if you pinch too hard, you might get a hole, but that's okay. It can be fixed. So you want to not pinch too hard, but not pinch too soft. It's somewhere in the middle, and you'll find that as you work. Take your pinch pot and put it with the hole facing down onto the table. You're going to use a toothpick to cut out the facial features like the eyes and the nose and the mouth. Now, it's not going to happen right away. You're going to have to kind of wiggle around, use your fingers, smooth things out, and just kind of play. Clay, it's never set and perfect right away. It's just be patient, take it easy, don't worry about it. It's going to get there. You can create a little stem at the top just by pinching and pulling. And I'm going to continue to go back in with my toothpick and maybe even my markers a little bit to darken up all the color. Your battery operated candle will go in the bottom and the light will shine through all those holes that you made in the face. Now it's going to take about a day to dry, so just let it sit on the table and it'll be dry the next day. Now, if you're more intermediate and advanced, we have some terracotta clay that you can use. And you're going to start just by playing with it, getting it soft and warm with your hands and warming up your hands, and you're going to split it into two pieces, about 1/4 and 3/4 size. You're going to take your larger chunk and you're going to make it into a ball in your palms, or you can use the tabletop and roll it into a ball. You'll stick your thumb and pinch and turn and pinch and turn with that good old pinch pot technique. Now this kind of clay, it's for more intermediate or advanced, and it's going to take more smoothing. So you could use some water, just one little dip of your finger into the water and then on top of the clay, and that's what you use to smooth out all those little cracks and bumps. And you just use a little water and just smooth with your fingers, and you'll start to see your little pumpkin start to take some shape. Now you're going to use a toothpick or a clay tool to poke out the holes of the facial features. The more advanced students will take a little more time and create more complicated shapes, but you're going to go slow and smooth, and you might have to go in with a little bit of water in your finger to kind of smooth out all those little bumps, and you're going to want to remember the outside of it and the inside. More advanced students can add onto their clay pumpkin and make it have bigger size and shape and form. And you can use a slip and score method to add on slabs of clay. Now, scoring means that you're going to make little marks and slashes inside both pieces of clay, and the slip is like a glue, and so you'll make those little slashes and add water, and the water creates like a glue which really holds it together. If you don't do this technique, the thing will fall apart, and which will be disappointing. So make sure when attaching pieces that you slip and score if you want to start to build onto your pumpkin. Now let your pumpkin dry overnight before you paint it, because it's still going to be wet from being fresh clay and adding all that water. So you're going to want to let it sit overnight and make sure the lid is not on top of the base part so it doesn't dry sticking. You're going to take the plate that you had used and put your paint on it, use it as a paint palette, and you're going to mix some primary colors to make your secondary color of orange, and you can customize your orange. You could also use just the regular terracotta color if you like that, but if you want to play around with the shades, the more red paint you use, the more reddish orange it'll become, and the more yellow paint you use, the more yellowish orange you will get for your pumpkin color. Now that you have this great art piece, what's some next steps that an artist might take? Well, please share your artwork with fellow creative geniuses. Please take a photo, share on our Facebook page, or email gina@wearecreativegeniuses.com. We'd love to see what you made today, hear what you named it with a title, and we hope to see you again for our next project. Check out our website for upcoming really cool projects. Thanks a lot for hanging with us today. Bye.